Hi, Joe Kehrig with the Kehrig Real Estate Team, and this is your San Ramon Valley neighborhood update for the week of January 30th. Well, if you've been watching the last couple of weeks, you've noticed that things have been pretty stable as far as actives and pendings, but we talked that there's going to be more buyers coming out as we hit the beginning of the year, and this is exactly what we're starting to see. Let's take a look at the first graph. Let's look at San Ramon. You can see that the active properties have stayed fairly stable, which is a good thing because as more and more homes sell, that's what we really look at is the active properties. Are they backfilling? Are they coming on the market? The one thing we don't want to see, especially if you're a buyer, is more pendings and the actives go down, because that's a trend that we don't want to see because it obviously affects the supply and demand and prices will continue to skyrocket. So when you look at San Ramon this week, and you'll see this across almost all the cities that we profile, the pending properties are up. It means that the buyers are out there again buying properties. But the good part, you see that the active properties have stayed pretty stable. Same thing with Danville. Look at the active properties. They've stayed pretty much the same, but look at the pending properties have jumped up. And when you go to Blackhawk, Blackhawk stayed almost the same all the way across the board. But again, we have 7 active listings in Blackhawk. As I've always told you guys before, in the heyday, if we had less than 50 homes on the market in Blackhawk, we would say there's no inventory. And now we have like 7 homes on the market. Alamo, you'll see a little difference in Alamo in the fact that pendings are way up and now the active properties are down. This is a trend that you really don't want to see, because you want to see that the active properties, and this is what we saw last year, prices were going up 10% every 3 months. But at least we had sales. We set records last year. You know, we talk about there being no supply, yet there were records set on number of homes sold. Because even with all the homes that sold, there was always a backfilling of active properties. What you see in Alamo here, you see a ton more pendings, but you see the active properties go down. And then Dublin looks very similar. Pending properties up, and you actually see active properties go up a little bit. And the one thing that looks the same as it does almost every week is the sold price, the list price percentage. San Ramon, Danville, 113%. I mean, we've been seeing literally since January of last year, the market going up almost every couple weeks, 10%. So if it takes 30 to 45 days to close a property, that means that every 3 months, the property is going up 10%. Hence, that's why we've seen 40% increases. We've seen homes go up 500,000. The last year and a half, we've seen $1.8 million homes selling for $2.8 million, all because of the supply and demand. So you see San Ramon, Danville, 113%. Now, Blackhawk and Alamo, you'll see 0. And the reason why is just last week there were no properties to close in Blackhawk and Alamo. There's only 2 or 3 that usually close on a busy week because there's not that many sales because they're smaller areas. But there were no properties that closed out, 0. Now Dublin is 112%. So everything is staying up there. And if it keeps going like this, I mean, are we going to see another 30 or 40% increases? Can you imagine a home last year that was 1.4 going for $2 million? Well, if we see this trend, we're going to see it going for $2.5 million. The only thing we can kind of hope for is a couple things. One is interest rates are starting to creep up a little bit, which will hold back demand a little bit. And then hopefully, as people take advantage of this price increases and decide to downsize or move out of the area, we'll see more inventory come on the market. Maybe with COVID, we don't see as many people coming from the peninsula coming over here. But the one thing that we're still seeing a lot is people moving out of state. And that's what's given us some of our inventory over here is people move to Idaho, Nashville, Arizona, Nevada. And so a lot of people are taking their profit and they're leaving. Every neighborhood is different and every house in the neighborhood is a little bit different. So if you want to get a more exact figure, no obligation, just give us a call and we can kind of show you where you're at now. But remember, to sell your home today, you have to have a plan. You don't just sell your home and stick your money in a mattress, because they're still printing money and inflation is going nuts right now. And real estate's the best hedge against inflation. So you want to own real estate. So if you're going to sell your real estate, you need a plan. Is it downsizing? Is it buying investment property? Is it moving out of state? You don't necessarily have to sell and then buy right away, but you want to sell and then you want to be a smart buyer. Because if you put $1 in the bank with inflation, next year that dollar is going to be worth 90 cents. Again, real estate has always been the best hedge against inflation. But if you need more information, give me a call. Again, Joe Kehrig with Kehrig Real Estate Team, 925-487-6838, or drop me an email, joe@kehrigteam.com, or visit our website for some of our listings, kehrigteam.com. Have a great day. God bless you. May God bless your family. May God bless the United States of America. And we'll talk to you next week.